What ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products?
Well, our media product uses conventions similar to that of what real media products use. We as a group have collectively watched scenes similar to those we are trying to recreate and took the camera angles into account when shooting our own film.
What ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products?
Well, we've tried to use conventions similar to that of real media products, such as action thriller films like The Negotiator.
Great film.
Yeah. Throughout the film, our three good guys seem distant from themselves, almost emotionless. Usually in films, the heroes are the characters people can relate to, and that's what we've tried to go for. Easygoing, forgiving agents, and that's it. Yeah. The codes and conventions we used to emphasise were the music. The music we used was to set the emotion of the scene, slow, sad and tense. We put this into the scene in slow motion to double the length of the scene, making the audience more anxious as the character's face looked at.
Where did you find this music?
Well, we asked some viewer, someone on YouTube, The Session he was called, to use his music. He let us use up to 1 minute of it, and we've credited him for it.
Well, another feature is camera angles and shots. This is probably the most important part, as this can be the difference with a shot looking fluent and believable or it looking childish and unprofessional. We wanted to show our knowledge of the different camera shots and film angles, also doing shots which fool the audience into believing a shot was real. An example of this is when we done the shot where Ryan hit me across the face, and this deceives the viewers.
Costume and props, John.
The costumes and props were needed in order to make our film look more authentic. So the character was an agent, so we had to make him look formal and professional. This was created using suits. The props we used were, because he was an agent, you needed to interrogate a criminal, you needed a weapon, so we had to use a gun. Handcuffs we used to handcuff him to the chair and fake blood when the agent was shot in the park.
There's a variety of ideas of settings that we could have used. In the end, we chose to have a park as it was a secluded location, casual, and we didn't want to draw attention to ourselves as agents. They spoke about the drop point and even used an object to show its location with the camera zooming and focusing on it. This is where we used the phone to look at the map and in the car scene where to drive to. We tried to make the scene look authentic as they're standing in a selected secluded area in front of bushes in casual clothes to avoid attracting attention. The last scene we done was in an empty room. We needed this as it was an interrogation scene, and we needed a secret location. The scene doesn't look as rough as if it was their rival, insinuating that someone was working with them, not against.
What kind of media institution might distribute your media product and why?
After looking at so many film production companies, I finally came to the conclusion that Warner Bros. Would be the best one. As the films are created, related to the ones we've created, such as The Matrix, The Fugitive, which is about criminals wrongly convicted and under siege. Warner Bros. Is a huge company and has a massive revenue of $11.7 billion. So money-wise, we'd be sorted. So we wouldn't need to worry about that, such as if we use a smaller company like Film 4. The promotion of our film, we could have massive trailers on TV, the internet. The problem though would be it's known for its light-hearted things such as Looney Tunes and cartoons.
Yeah, another example of this is Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. They have experience in the field of thriller genres and they have produced recent films such as Unthinkable and The Experiment, both of which was very successful. They may choose our film as it is full of action, also dramatic scenes which would be great for cinemas to screen.
Who would be the audience for your project and how would you attract them?
We did audience research before we had started to plan our opening, so we already had the knowledge on what to look out for and how to make a choice on what the audience were looking for. The age rating we have chosen for our film is 15. This is deemed on the violence language and a constant threat. The younger audience of teenagers would enjoy this aspect of our film as it is filmed with action and the research we have done has told us that the younger people enjoy gore and violence in thriller. The more mature of viewers would enjoy the aspect of mystery and intensity of the storyline, such as a wrongly convicted man tried for crimes he did not commit.
With our intended audience 15 to 24-year-old males. We've chose this because it's a fast-paced action thriller which attracts younger members of the younger generation, although there are some bad language and gory scenes involved. We feel that the gun shootouts and interrogations wouldn't be of interest to females as it would be to males, and that's why we decided, based on our personal opinions and questionnaires carried out by newspapers and other companies, that this is the route we'll go down. What have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product?
To create this film we needed to use high quality software and hardware, such as Final Cut Express, which we used in the Mac room. We used blue screen technology during our preliminary, so we knew how to use that, and HD camcorders. The Mac suite was mainly used for the Final Cut editing and stuff like that. It took us a while to get used to it, but we looked at guides and tutorials and became familiar with the techniques.
Some technology that we used was Google. This was used to research other films and the techniques that they used. YouTube. This was used to look for music that we felt best suited our film. We asked permission of the owner of that music. Blogger. This was used to keep our work updated so that our teacher could mark it and give us constructive feedback. Also a tripod. We use this to maintain steady shots and also panning the camera smoothly. The camera itself. We use this with a high standard while recording. Although we did encounter some problems due to the quality of the sound, we thought about this and decided in the long distance scenes to put music over the volume to give it more of an emotional effect. So what about your preliminary test?
The preliminary test was the first time we'd used the camera and the techniques we'd been taught. We did encounter a few problems obviously because it was the first time, but it helps us in the long run to correct errors made in the final production. The quick narrative in our preliminary was just a deal between two gangsters.
This related to our thriller genre, the film opening, because we'd done a scene in the park where agents was doing a trade as well, just having a bit of banter. Our guideline while recording the preliminary was to demonstrate our understanding of match on action shot, shot reverse shot, and the 180-degree rule. Following these simple rules, we feel we improved our film opening as we wouldn't disorientate the viewers while keeping their attention with several shots changing.